It is vitally important that we get the halter fitted on the horse's head properly. Horses will reach up with their hind leg and scratch the side of their face. If the halter is fitted loosely, then there's the danger that they will hang their hind leg in a piece of the halter and injure themselves. Also, if we turn these horses out to a pasture, if the halter is fitting loosely, then there's a chance they may hang it on the fence, may hang it on a tree limb, or may hang it on the water as they take a drink. If we look at this halter fitted on this filly here, we see that the nose piece fits snugly around her facial bones, but it does not constrict those bones. We can slide our hand underneath this nose piece without any problem, but there's no chance that she can get a foot caught in there if she were to scratch her face. The side piece here is long enough to fit on this filly's head. We want to make sure that the side piece does properly fit so that it does not pull any constriction here on the pole or down here at the throat latch. We do not in any means want to constrict this area down here in the throat latch because this is where the windpipe passes through, and we don't want to constrict the flow of air. We want this to be loosely fitting, and so the horse can flex her head and move around. The lower piece here you can see is loosely fitting up against the bottom of the horse's head, but there's no danger that this horse may be able to get a foot caught into this bottom strap of the halter. And you can see that this halter fits very loosely on the horse's head. We can move it around, but yet it fits very properly and very snug on the horse's head, so it reduces the incidence of this horse being able to injure herself by snagging this halter on something out in the field or in the stall. When teaching your horse to lead, you need to make sure you stay in the proper position. As you go to lead your horse off, you need to make sure that your right shoulder stays even with the horse's throat latch and that you do not get in front of the horse as you're leading the horse off. Once the horse has learned to lead in this direction and you're moving at the same pace, then you need to teach the horse to lead from the off side or the right side of the horse. This is the reason you have to do this is because the horse cannot transfer information from one side of his brain to the other, so we need to accustom him to working on both sides. So we need to lead the horse off on the right side, staying in the same position as we did when we were on the left side, and asking the horse to move forward, moving at the same speed. In teaching a horse to lead, you need to remember the concepts of how a horse learns. A horse learns through reward and punishment. In teaching a horse to lead, the punishment comes via the halter, the lead shank, and the handler. The punishment is the pressure of the halter applied when the horse is asked to move forward by pulling on the lead shank. The halter constricts and puts pressure at the pole around as well as around the nose of the horse, and as the horse moves forward, then you release the pressure, and this is the reward. The reward is the release of the pressure of the halter around the horse's head, and that signals the horse that he has done what he's asked for. And the horse will seek the reward part of the learning sequence, where he finds a place of comfort and actually moves forward and leads off. So as you lead a horse, it's a constant give and take, or pull and release, applying pressure and then releasing as the horse moves off. An excellent way to teach a horse to lead is by using two people. One person should position himself on the left side of the horse at the horse's throat latch with the lead shank, and the other person on the left side of the horse back at his hip. The person with the lead shank should ask the horse to lead off, and as the horse leads off, the person behind should cluck, clap their hands, or wave their hands and ask the horse to move forward. As the horse is moving forward, the person behind the horse driving the horse should maintain adequate distance and pay attention, so if the horse were to stop, he wouldn't run up on back of the horse and run the risk of injury. As the horse begins to slow down, the person behind can cluck or clap their hands and move forward and have that horse move forward in a nice, correct manner. When they go to turn and reverse the other way, the person behind should swing wide enough out that it does not run the chance of interfering with the horse or running the chance of injury, and ask the horse to move off correctly at a good pace while the handler that's running the lead shank stays at the horse's throat latch. As you lead your horse, you need to make sure you stay beside the horse where your shoulder is right next to the horse's throat latch, staying in stride with the horse and moving off with him in the correct manner, making sure you do not get in front of the horse. The classic thing that we see is this confrontation here where the handler is in front of the horse trying to get the horse to move forward and the horse won't move. To rectify this situation, you need to just quietly move back beside the horse, and as you ask the horse to move off, pull his head and neck one direction. At the same time you do that, make sure that you pull on the halter and lead shank forward so that the horse is actually leading forward. and there's no way you're going to be able to pull this horse forward by standing directly in front of him. One way to teach a horse to lead is through the use of a butt rope. A simple lariat rope will work. You just simply take the loop, put it around the horse's hind quarters, and run the end of the rope up over the horse's back to your right hand, which is holding the lead shank. Hold the loose slack of the lariat rope in your left hand and walk off with the horse. As you do this, pull with the butt rope, and that will apply pressure from the back end and cause the horse to move off. At the same time you do this, make sure that you pull on the lead shank so that the horse feels pressure on the halter, and this will teach the horse to move off the pressure of the halter. As the horse becomes more adept at leading, then you can put more pressure on the halter and only use the butt rope as a reinforcement to move the horse and lead it off as it's walking. Another way to teach your horse to lead is to use the fence on the off side of the horse as a barrier to move your horse off straight in a correct pattern. When using this technique, you want to stand beside the horse at the horse's throat latch, and as you start to move, push on the halter with the lead shank, and with your left hand reach back and tap the horse on the hip. And as the horse moves out, you need to be ready to go with him, because the horse will be ready to go and will actually jump forward when you ask him to go. You want to make sure you stay beside the horse at the horse's throat latch and not in front of him. If the horse starts to slow down in some way, you might want to reach back with your left hand and reinforce the technique and make him move on out and walk like he should. By using the fence on the off side of the horse, this prevents the horse from going off to the right and escaping what you're trying to do and make him move forward and lead correctly.